And here we go. Let's start this shit. Why did you not mention that beforehand? Well, that came out of nowhere.
No, but I did! What did I mention?
That you're a member of the Very Big Circus! Oh yeah, so the Very Big Circus, that is the one that was in Big Top, right?
No, it's just that, I'm not! I can't call myself a member yet! I'm just a new recruit!
Regardless, that still makes you a member.
Eek!
Oh god. So why didn't you tell us that before?
If I told you I was part of the circus, it would have made me look suspicious, right? Since I also do nightly and all that. I didn't think anyone would believe what I had to say. Not even you guys, Kay.
Didn't we promise to believe in you?
But, Mr. Edgeworth, you're just kind of scary.
Not false. Man, you're just terrible with getting info from people, aren't you, Miles? That's none of your concern. Looks like we need to have a talk with him again. So, what did you do to the circus, Simon? Do to the circus?
I guess you could say I'm a wild animal tamer. I'm still just an apprentice, though.
Wait, isn't that what Acro was? Is he like Acro too? Wow, that's incredible! So you command lions and tigers and to do your bidding, right? You know, I should have remembered that. Who was the animal tamer? Oh, the animal tamer was that girl, right? Right? I think, right?
Ah, nothing crazy like that. No, wait.
My partner is this little guy right here. And that's why his name is Shy Monkeys. And that makes you a wild animal tamer? He's more like an organ grinder than a wild animal tamer. I don't get the joke here.
Hey, monkey, cut that out. He can be quite a handful sometimes.
Oh god. Fucking it's Remy from Ratatouille. I thought organ grinders controlled their monkey. Oh, fucking that kind of organ grinder. Ugh. That's very different to what I was thinking of. Yeah, I get that now. Organ grinder without any context sounds bad. Controlled their monkeys, not the other way around. Yesterday you told us you were just a regular employee, correct?
Even if I'm a member of the circus, I'm still legally an employee. Which is like any regular company. The ringleader is the boss, and I'm just a grunt. I even have a supervisor. She's the head of the Wild Animal Tamer Division. No matter what kind of fierce creature they all immediately follow her every command.
Yeah. Oh, I get it. That's pretty cool. Fucking, I'm just imagining someone being like, oh, so it's like the emojis. She might even be able to get a handle on Miles here. I am not a wild animal. Did you and your supervisor take part in the animal show here at the prison?
Yeah, it was just us two. It was only a small operation this time around. Basically, my supervisor takes center stage, and I take care of all the dirty work. Well, I did have a tiny part in the performance.
So there are only 2 members of the circus that are related to this case. Your movements. So can you tell me about your movements around the prison?
Okay, I went to meet Knightley 2 days ago around noon.
And that's when you gave him the chessboard?
That's right. And then that night, I started setting up the stage in the courtyard. It was pretty tough going back and forth, but moving all of the crates by myself. I left everything in workroom A, I think. Just temporary storage.
Workroom A. That's where the body was discovered.
Didn't your supervisor help you at all? No way! You can't let her do anything like that. That's my job. After I got everything ready, we started rehearsing. When we left, it was almost midnight. The show was set to start at 8 a.m. the next day and go on until 10 a.m.
The only one who went in and out of where the body was found is Mr. Keys. And then the body was found just before the show ended. Can we talk about who your supervisor is, maybe? I feel like that's a little bit important. Do you happen to know why you were arrested? It's weird how it happened so fast. I don't think that the pest guy would just have you arrested on a whim. Okay, so at this point it's pretty clear that, like, the best is just a front, so Courtney can can get everything she wants through him because she's not a prosecutor. I wouldn't put it past him, though.
Well, maybe it's because of that. When I was moving the crates, I decided to go check up on him. You know, Knightley.
You went directly into the detention block. Did you have permission?
No, I had to sneak in. It wasn't a formal visit or anything.
Didn't you already see him 2 days ago? Why would you go and do such a thing?
Well, we're the only friends either of us has had since childhood. He was the same as me. We never had real families. I just wanted to talk with them for a bit, so I went to see him.
I hate that I gave him this stupid voice when it's like a genuinely sad moment. You didn't have a family.
When I was younger, I lost the only family I had, my father.
So is that it? I knew all too well how it feels to lose your father at a young age.
So you're the same as Mr. Edgeworth and me.
So it was just the 2 of you talking at that time?
Yes, all the other cells were empty, and there weren't any guards nearby either.
But then you got found out, and that's why they suspected you.
What? Did I do something really bad?
Nah. Something must have happened while Mr. Keys and Knightley were alone. That's probably the best logic. It seems that we'll need to talk with his supervisor as well. Supervisor as well. My German's showing.
She should be here today too, probably in the courtyard. Oh, I'm sorry it turned out like this, boss.
Simon, if there's anything we can do to help, just tell us.
What? But I can't do anything in return.
Don't you worry about that. We're your allies. That's because we're like birds of a feather, right, Mr. Edgeworth? Birds of a feather, huh? I suppose that's true. We have sufficient information about your past. I doubt you had a motive to kill Knightley. Rather, you are probably the most affected by his death. And I doubt someone as timid as you could work up the courage to murder someone. Alright, I'll get you out of here. We'll believe in you. Oh my god. Well, what do we have here? Starting to get a hang of this whole defense attorney gig? Sound a bit like your old man just now. Me? Sound like my father? He would say the defense attorney's job is to be an ally to the deserted. If you're going to ride that stallion to the sunrise, wait for me. I want him too. Mr. Shields, I think you mean sunset. Yeah, of course. It's just a joke. Want some candy? What?
No, thank you. I don't like sweets.
Oh, really? What a shame. Hold on, I need to put on something real quick because it's a little bit cold here. Okay. What's wrong with the sunrise? The legendary Yatagarasu is all about the sun. Since the sunlight always exposes the truth. Good grief. For now, let's just head to the prison courtyard and see what we can find out there. What we can find there. Please don't talk to him. Ah, the shutter is open. Well, that's awfully convenient. Yes, it looks like that way leads to the courtyard. Upstairs? So what are we waiting for? Come on, let's get a move on. She's certainly in high spirits. So this is the courtyard. Just before the body was discovered, the animal show was held here. It looks like it looks just like a carnival. Man, I bet it was lots of fun. The prisoners were gathered here when the body was found. So that means there. So that means whoever saw the show has an alibi. We should start by checking the area for... Eek! Okay. Wow. Kay would be dead. Cut it out, you! Help me, Mr. Edgeworth! You there! Stop right this instant!
Ow! 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 Someone! Anyone help!
Down, Astique, down! I'm probably gonna have to give that person a voice, but this is just the temporary. Who are... Oh! Oh!
Looks like you...
No, I'm not doing that voice. But it would fit amazingly well.
Looks like you found a new playmate.
I can't think of anything else.
Looks like you found a new playmate. Good for you, Astique. It wasn't playing around. It was about to eat me. Huh? No way. That's impossible. This child doesn't bite. Often.
Often, huh?
People normally never get to play with an elephant up close. Isn't it wonderful?
At least I'm not doing the Ross terrible voice. All, like...
With the whole this, I'm just doing this. No, it's not. It's wonderful, right?
It was simply marvelous, little lady. Mr. Shields.
Really? Oh, that makes me so happy.
So how about a hug? As thanks. Hey, watch where you swing that thing. Were you taught not to hit people with the trunk? That's lewd.
It looks like Astique is friends with everyone.
I am an assistant of this defense attorney. My name is Miles Edgeworth.
Oh, I haven't introduced myself yet. I'm Regina Berry. Nice to meet you.
I'm the great thief and defense attorney's assistant, Kay Faraday. That's a rather complicated job title. And the one playing with Mr. Elephant is the defense attorney, Mr. Ray Shields.
It's not Mr. Elephant, it's Astique, the fantastic Asian elephant.
You're incredible, Regina. You made us stick stuff right away.
Well, I am a wild animal tamer after all.
And that's where that comes in. Really? Then you must be Simon's supervisor.
Yep, I'm the head of the very big circus, Wild Animal Tamer Division. The one and only Regina Berry.
It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Ace Attorney Ray Shields. When do I get my game? It looks like he's the one she has. It looks like he's the one she has a handle on.
Yes, she's perfect.
What are you mumbling about, Kay?
Look at her. She's energetic, fun-loving, and healthy. She could be the new member of the Yatagarasu. She'd be perfect as a great thief. A great thief?
Sorry.
That sounds like fun. We could make a huge ruckus with the animals.
Oh, you can make a ruckus. A great thief is supposed to be quiet and sneaky-like.
But the show needs to have flash. Being quiet is kind of boring.
Aw, I guess she's not very thief-like after all. It seems there has been a breakdown in negotiations. Alright, let's get started, Mr. Edgeworth. Let's check out anything that looks suspicious. We'll even look through the barbed wire if we have to. Yes, we need to gather more information about the case. We should also try talking with anyone connected to the case. Okay. I suppose this is the one that is super long.
Reddit?
What are you doing? Don't you know? If you croak like a frog at a pot, they will come towards you. The only things that are coming towards you are the water striders.
Water striders are so cool, they're like ninjas. They glide gracefully on top of the water. I wish I could do that.
What about the frogs?
Is it?
Head of the Wild Animal Tamer Division. Are you Mr. Key's supervisor?
That's right. Very Big Circus was created by my daddy. But Daddy died in the murder incident.
Your dad is...
But after that, our current ringmaster made the circus even bigger. The ringmaster's daddy's close friend. He's like a funny uncle.
Wow, a funny uncle! That's great, Regina!
Yep, Uncle Mo established the Wild Animal Tamer, Magic, and Ventriloquist divisions.
Mo was the clown, wasn't he?
Only the Wild Animal Tamer and Ventriloquist divisions have subordinates, though. Very Big Circus is going to become even more fabulous.
Yes, that sounds amazing! The way these two are carrying on, I'd hate to put a damper on things. Could you tell us about the animal show?
It's an amazing show. It has a storyline and everything. What's more, it's a love story. Doesn't that sound wonderful?
Very nice. Are you there, Regina Pie?
Nope. The heroine of the show is Astique. And her partner is Regent the Tiger. It's about the forbidden love between an elephant and a tiger. As if you couldn't have noticed that yourself.
The elephant and tiger? Forbidden love?
That's right. It's what they call a love triangle.
No, it's not. That's not what they call a love triangle.
Isn't it romantic?
Sounds amazing! Right, Mr. Edgeworth? Heroine. Astique is a female elephant? Since it's a love triangle, should there be one more animal involved?
Yup, the third animal, he's the one who interferes with the love between Astique and Regent.
Mr. Edgeworth, what do you think it is? Well, since it's a circus, perhaps a lion? I think a crow would be nice.
The third animal is a naughty little monkey.
The scale suddenly got a lot smaller.
Ah, Money the monkey. Nope, The one who plays the role of the monkey is Simon. Money is a little too small.
Hold on.
He's like the villain who tries to break up the love between Astique and Regent. How will Astique and Regent control their own destiny? Isn't it wonderful?
I guess? I thought Mr. Keys just did all the grunt work.
Wouldn't you feel sorry for Simon if he didn't get to perform on stage?
Could you tell me about the preparations for the show?
Simon handled everything, so I don't know that much about it. Simon insisted on it. He wanted me to focus on the show. I saw Simon doing something near the well, though.
The well? If I recall, it was behind the stage. I better go take a look at it later.
He even moved this giant cage all by himself. Simon is such a nice guy.
That sounds like something Simon would do. While crying profusely.
During the preparation, Simon went back and forth between the workroom and the courtyard. We were using the workroom to store our equipment. Only Simon entered that room, so I don't know anything about it.
The workroom? Was it the one where we found the dead body? So Simon was the only one who entered workroom A. Man, the bad news just keep on coming.
Mr. Lawyer, please promise you'll help Simon.
Don't worry, despite his looks, Mr. Edgeworth is really amazing. Despite my looks? And just what is wrong with the way I look? Well, there's the well. I can't help it.
Ah, Mr. Attorney, how are we doing today?
We're doing... Hey, we met you just a few moments ago. Please do forgive me. Ever since I've come here, I've been working on refining my speech. That's not the only thing that needs refining. Right now, I'm helping out with the cleanup after the show. Ah, but if there's anything you need, please let me know. You have my full cooperation. Wow, I actually need to talk to him. I'm in the middle of volunteer work right now. As you can see, I'm a model prisoner. I have been reborn inside this prison. Reborn as a thief. The devil made me do it. How can you blame the devil? You're a disgrace to thieves. I have nothing to say. I still have much to learn. As a thief? But, as you can see, I've exchanged my bracelets for working one. I will continue to devote myself to being a model prisoner. Again with the model prisoner. Give it a rest already. Pet grooming. I'm trying to pay my debt to society once I become eligible for parole. So you were training instead of watching the animal show? So there were only two people who did not watch the show. Sawit and Dogan. Why didn't you say anything about Dogan earlier? Well, if you ask any inmate at this prison, they'd all think twice before telling you. That person is like the ruler of this place. Around here, we call him the supplier. The supplier? If you ask him nicely, he can provide you with anything you want. What? Is that allowed? Normally it's not allowed, but with him, it's another story. He supposedly has a secret route to procure these goods. As a supplier, Dogan would be in a position of power. However, I've put all that behind me. All I care about now is applying mud packs to the animals. Mud packs? I coat the animal's fur with my mineral-rich mud packs to give it a beautiful shine. To help with my training, I give them to all the animals in prison, each and every one of them. Mud, huh? Could be related to that piece of evidence. I should present it to him. Okay. That's the rubber glove I dropped. Where did the mud of this glove come from? Ah, that's the mud from the mud bags. At the time I was practicing applying my mud bags. Could you tell me when this took place on the day of the incident? Since the animal show had started, I'd say it was around 9 AM. The mud bags turned the animal's bodies pitch black, and my heart was pure white. Oh? I was totally engrossed with covering the animals in mud. Prison life must be taxing on his stress levels. Thanks to the warden's policies, I can undergo job training here. I owe her a debt of gratitude. Okay, that's it. Then let's look at the well. This crude-looking well seems handcrafted, but was it built by the inmates? There are a bunch of tools lying around the well, a long piece of rope, and a heavy-looking weight. It weighs 33 pounds. It says so right there. Let me just real quick. Okay, I don't want to turn on 9s because that might impede my streaming. So just 33 pounds in kilograms. That's about 15 kilograms. It says so right here. There's even a couple of pulleys. Okay, please stop touching other people's things. Stingy pants, I'm just checking stuff out. It's not like I'm going to take them home with me. Still, these tools, what were they used for? Okay, this is still this. Oh, yeah. I was looking at the thing on the left, but those were the pulleys. I didn't actually look at the weights. Apparently. So that was all the well was for. This is a stage where they put on the animal show. If I put on a great thief show, I wonder if anyone would come. I'm pretty sure the police would show up. Danger, high voltage. These signs really do exist. On the other side, you could see what appears to be a detention center's garden. It's just as Warden Roland said. You can see the garden from her office. If it weren't for this barbed wire, we could take a look at the garden on the other side. That is Warden Roland's prize garden. I doubt she'd let us in easily. Is that her? Oh my! Oh my! Oh! Oh, I can't think of a voice. There you are, Regina, darling. Oh, maybe. There you are, Regina, darling. Ah, Miss Roland. Yeah, it's Payroll. I was looking all over for you. I wanted to have a little chat with you. I can't even keep up the voice for her. She's so hard. And now I have to talk to her. Could you tell me a little about the prison? Currently, this place is my pride and joy, which I like to call our home. When I first came here, this prison was in a terrible state. Terrible state? You mean the prisoners' attitudes? There are no bad children. There are no bad children in my family. It was the environment that was terrible. That's why, after giving it a lot of thought, I enlisted the help of the animals. Being together with animals will soften up even the most hardened criminals. Right now, everyone has returned to their most honest self. Just take a look at Frankie. He's a model prisoner. A model prisoner who was trying to steal from a dead body. There are lots of model prisoners here, but Frankie is number one. He's proactive with his job training and helps out with the chores. Don't the other model prisoners do job training and chores? Huh? Oh, don't be silly. They all do, of course. It's just that Frankie here, he has his sights set on something different. Something feels strange. In any case, he's a very good boy. Please get along with one another. I can't keep up her voice. It turns into everything else immediately. The enchanting music, the prancing animals, the very big circus is fabulous. If you come here, you can see the show once a month. Really? Then maybe I should. Was she just thinking about committing a crime? Once a month, you said. Is it always the very big circus? Of course! I'm Regina, Darling's biggest fan. My darling Regina, she's just so fabulous. That's lewd. She's just such a cutie pie. I would just eat her up. She really likes her darling Regina. That's why I'm worried about poor little Simon. If he is found guilty, Regina Darling will be heartbroken. Mr. Lawyer, please take care of little Simon. If there's anything I can help with, please don't hesitate to ask. But really, I would have loved to show everyone yesterday. You did a wonderful job on the stage, Regina Darling. I'm so happy to hear that. I'm glad all the prisoners came to see it. Well, about that... Just between you and me, not everyone came to see the show. That would be Dogen and Sawit, I imagine. There were 3 people who didn't see the show yesterday. Unbelievable, really. Excuse me, but did you say there were 3 prisoners who did not see the show? That's right. I took a count and there were 3 empty seats. And we even had the correct number of seats set out. Doesn't that seem weird to you, Mr. Edgeworth? It does. We had thought that Dogen and Sal were the only 2 prisoners who were not present in the courtyard during the show, but that doesn't add up. Where did the 3rd person go? Further investigation is needed. I was having so much fun talking to you, Regina Darling. But I completely forgot. It's time to feed my baby. My baby? A steak? A frog? Ah! Whoa! That's not a frog. That's a space station. It's an alligator. Oh, Ellie. Oh, that's why it's Allie and not Ally. You look cute as ever. Oh, how cute. So her name is Allie? Yup, she's Allie the alligator. She's my favorite out of all of my family. How lovely. I want to try petting it. If Regina Darling wants to pet it, go right ahead. I'll allow it. It's not how petting goes. Petting is not jumping in front of it. They seem pretty excited. We need to go check the prison cells, don't we? That's right. Let's look for the 3rd prisoner who didn't see the animal show. Oh god, please not. Please not Jailbird. Mr. Edgeworth, I finally found you, sir. I'm gonna guess that's Gumshoe? Yes, it is. Detective Gumshoe. I take it the investigation is running smoothly? The judge and that prosecutor haven't shown up yet. Oh yeah, I also got your message, sir. What was the result of the examination of the victim's cell? With the jackpots, sir. Traces of blood were found on the cell floor. There wasn't a whole lot there, though. This should prove that the murder occurred in the whole murder. I hate when they say murder occurred. Cause it sounds very weird. Murder occurred in the holding cell. Indeed, the probability has increased. However, we still cannot say for certain. I thought you'd say that, sir. So I asked the lab guys to look into it a little further. They're running an analysis on blood, so we'll know soon if it's the victims or not. Way to go, Gummy! Good thinking! Detective, you've outdone yourself. What caused the sudden foresight? I'm actually a little hurt that you're so surprised by it, sir. I hope nothing bad comes from this. Once we get the results, we can prove that the C was the holding cell, which leaves finding out how that doggy managed to sneak his way in there. Just leave that to me, pal. Since that other prosecutor isn't here, I can investigate as much as we want. That's why I brought my secret weapon with me. Secret weapons? That's right, pal. They've gotten us out of a few jams before. Take a gander at Dick Gumshoe's 7 secret weapons. Looks like they'll come in handy. Want to take up his offer, Miles? Detective, please allow us the use of your secret weapons. Sure thing, sir. First, I'll give you a rundown. Secret weapon number 1. The trusty metal detector. Perfect for finding all kinds of metallic objects. As its name implies. Next, secret weapon number 2. Everyone's favorite pal, Missile. He can track any scent you want, especially the scent of food. He's much cuter than Mr. Dogan's dog. And then, secret weapon number 3. It's, this. Isn't that a fishing pole? And I remember these 3, but what about the other 4? What are you trying to catch? No, actually, I just brought it by accident. Never mind that. What's next, detective? That's all of them, sir. And there we go. What? You called them 7 secret weapons, but there's only 3 of them? That's all I have for now, pal. We can use the rest next time. I can't just reveal them all at once. Why do you think they're called secret weapons, pal? It doesn't matter. We'll just use the 3 that he's provided. Alright, which one do you want to use? Oh, god damn it. I'll just use Missile for now. You want Missile, sir? Hey, pal, over here, Missile! Ah, there he is! First, let's decide what scent he should track down. We are searching for the route of Dogan's dog used to get to the detention cell. This route will have also been the same path to carry the body to the prison. So if we have him track the scent of the body, that should lead us to the path. Don't you smell something sweet? Really? All I can smell is the scent of blood. It's a very faint scent, like cake or something. The scent of cake from the body? Alright, Missile, get a good whiff of that scent, pal. Come on, let's follow after him. He's gonna find food. That way is... He's headed towards the special cell. And he's gone straight inside. Yes, let's follow him. Oh boy. Am I looking forward to this. This is Dogan's cell, but he looks like he's absent at the moment. Yes! Maybe he's being interrogated? What's in here? I think he's found something! What could there be in this room? Mr. Edgeworth, we better take a look. Well, let's look at this shit. Look at this, Mr. Edgeworth. There's a small chisel here. I'm not well well versed in woodworking, but this seems to be a pocket-sized chisel.
A pocket-sized chisel. It must be convenient to have one wherever you go.
Is that from a thief's point of view?
No, it's from a great thief's point of view.
She didn't even skip a beat. Oh, who would have thunk it? A teacup and biscuits. I suppose he has his tea time in here. I suppose he has his tea time in here too.
Playing chess while drinking tea in his cell. Isn't this going a bit overboard with the special treatment? It's like he gets whatever he wants.
Don't complain to me. You should tell him yourself.
I think I'll pass on that.
What about the bell? Oh, they don't even acknowledge the bell. What about the tea? Is that the same one? Yep, that's the same one. Then let's look at the chess. It's Stogan's chessboard. It still has that hound piece on it.
Ah, the chessboard has legs. Aren't these things expensive?
They can be. This is very good craftsmanship.
Mr. Dogan playing chess is kinda unexpected, you know? I figured he'd be more of a Go player or something like that.
Go. Do you play Go, Kay?
I'm really good at Go Bang.
But that's not Go. What's Go Bang? It's the chisel Stogan uses. More than enough for him to murder someone with.
Speaking of chisels, it kind of looks like someone used a chisel on your forehead, Mr. Edgeworth. What?
And what is that supposed to mean?
See? That furrow between your brow is getting deeper. Looks just like a carving.
I would leave the subject alone if I were you. Okay. I feel like that could have been westernized with Go Fish. Yeah.
Missile, maybe. This is what you're barking at?
Of course.
Oh, hey, knock it off, pal! Chocolate cake is bad for dogs. That's how it's gonna be? I'll eat it myself! Wow, that was pretty good.
Good for you. But it looks like someone else has a problem with that.
That wasn't fair, Gummy. I wanted to eat it too.
I know it's my seed food you find lying around a prison.
Anyway, I guess Missile was barking at the cake, sir.
That was pointless. Is that police dog going to get a job done?
He's fine, pal. He was just following his stomach instead of his nose. Let's track down the scent of the body for real this time, Missile. Oh, looks like he's found something else, sir.
Oh no, please no.
Now it's this cell.
This would be Mr. Albert's cell. I'd like to examine the interior. Detective, call a guard.
Roger that, sir.
Good work, Detective. By the way, is Jailbird still being held in the disciplinary room?
Nope.
He should have already returned. He was present during the noon roll call. He may have been assigned to work someplace else. I see. Well then, might we examine the cell?
Yes, sir. Miss Edgeworth, how many minutes do you think this hourglass goes for?
Albert is a former boxer, so I'd say 3 minutes. In a boxing match, each round lasts for 3 minutes.
Wrong. The correct answer is around 2 minutes. Why? Well, because the glass is cracked and some sand is spilled out.
What? How could I have missed that?
Ah,
There's a poster of Mr. Albert on the wall. That's not what I pointed at. And what's this next to it? Is this his weight loss target? He was a former boxer. He probably continued with his weight management. It seems he also takes various protein supplements. Muscle protein, hustle protein, weight loss protein. Nothing but protein. Add some protein. Which weight class was he aiming for? Well, let's look at this. Rocky is written here in messy handwriting. Could this be the bear's toy? This prisoner seems very close to his unusual partner. Ah, this takes me back. Didn't you play with stuff like this when you were a kid? No, I don't recall doing that. Wow. That sounds like it hurts. Well then, what did you play when you were younger? Chess, golf, and the flute, things like that. Normal kid stuff. Anyone does that. Mr. Edgeworth, didn't you have any friends? Why must you be so concerned about that? This sandbag shows sign of repeated use. Ah, you want a box 2 missile? Ha! Look at him go! It can't be. Detective, move the sandbag at once. Yes, sir! Oh-ho! This is... Hey, missile! Come back here! I'm going to! Hold it! I'll stop them, sir! Ah, it's too tight for me, sir! Detective! It can't be helped. I'll have to wait for her to contact me. Hello, Kay? Are you alright? Don't get so worked up. Right now I'm in the detention center. The detention center? That hole comes out to a nightly cell. Really? Stay where you are. I'm coming over there now. Oh boy. Kay. Mr. Edgeworth. I really helped out, didn't I? Indeed. She doesn't appear to be injured. The floorboards have been ripped out from under the bed, sir. Ah, dang it, I was gonna put the blue badger on him. I see. It seems we found what we were looking for. The passageway between the detention center and prison is blocked by solid doors. However, there was a secret underground tunnel beneath it. We were following the sweet scent and arrived here. That means the scent must have come from Knightley's body. Why is he smelling sweet? Come to think of it, his body was covered in dirt. It may have been caused by passing through the tunnel. Okay, what was the inside of the tunnel like? It was pitch black, so I really couldn't see much, but I took some photos. Please show us. And they're all pitch black because you didn't use the flash. Huh, this is... Spoons and forks. Were these used to dig the tunnel? But more importantly, what are these footprints? These footprints, could they belong to a dog? Are they missile? This will surely be vital evidence. However, before we consider that, we have a big problem. A problem? J. Elbird could use this tunnel to move around freely. No. Detective, confirm his whereabouts post haste. Perhaps he's... You may be right, sir. This is a big deal. After speaking with the guards, the search for J. Elbert was carried out immediately. They searched every nook and cranny of the detention center and the prison. But in the end, they found no sign of him. The ladder.
Did you contact the police?
I already forgot her voice again.
Darling, did you contact the police?
Yes, ma'am. We've already done that. We set up a security perimeter around the prison, ma'am.
Right. This is the first scandal in our prison's history.
We're so sorry. She's completely different from before.
Mr. Edgeworth, was it? Thank you for finding the escapee's tunnel. But it's a little too late. Mr. Elbert has long since left here.
I don't believe he has gone beyond the detention center. There are security gates located at the exit of the detention center. I believe it would have been difficult to get through those. Wouldn't you agree?
Maybe he has another tunnel.
We certainly can't deny that possibility. However,
anyway, there's no use in you being here now. Please return to your investigation.
Yes, we'll do that.
You guys get back to your posts too.
Yes, ma'am. Detective Gumshoe, sir, we've got the results of the blood test you requested.
Good work, pal.
These are the forensic results of the bloodstain found in Knightley's cell.
So what's it say, Mr. Edgeworth?
The blood is confirmed to have been Knightley's. Thank goodness.
Hey now, that's good news.
We found the bloodstain in Knightley's cell and discovered the tunnel the dog used. Furthermore, the security camera shows footage of a dog attacking Knightley in his cell. We have all the evidence we need. It's time we ask Dogen a few questions, oh boy.
Dogen, did you say? Please use utmost caution. That man has henchmen outside of the prison.
Outside of the prison? Is this related to the secret trade routes as a flyer?
The police have been searching for Dogen's henchmen for ages. I've also been helping them, but...
So that means back then. So he still won't talk? Even after all the trouble you went through to get the evidence transferred from the precinct?
That's right. I don't know how many times I've tried. I can't report back empty-handed.
That assassin sure is a tough cookie, huh? You had evidence transferred from the precinct.
Yes, we borrowed all the evidence concerning Dogen. I've been interrogating him personally in my office, but no matter how much evidence we have on him, we can't get a single word out of him.
The warden interrogates him herself. Why go that far?
Lose your focus and he'll eat you alive. Be on your guard.
Whoa, you've made Uncle Ray a little nervous. Oh boy, this is gonna be interesting. This is a lot of voices. Oh, and he has like that little dimp in his head.
Questioning a prisoner, did you forget that we're investigating as well? Or rather, have you forgotten my warning? If you value your badge...
Oh my god. And she's the queen!
You should not have appeared before me again.
I'm sorry you thought I would abide by those words. I won't overlook something important just to heed your warning. I've come for a testimony about the truth of this case, which you have overlooked. You mean to... Shit. You mean to say you require my humble services? Fuck me. First line and I'm already dead. As I promised, I've returned to prove that you are the culprit. Interesting. Do tell.
Before that, you should first listen to our reasoning.
We can say with confidence that Simon Keyes is the culprit. Only Simon Keyes could have moved Mr. Knightley into the prison. And we can show proof of this fact. But first, I'd like to hear your resolve, Prosecutor Edgeworth. If our reasoning is correct, will you submit it to us? Will you submit it to us? Your prosecutor's badge?
You'll deprive him of his badge? Is that a threat, pal?
No, it's not a threat, rather an act of compassion. Normally, I wouldn't even have taken notice of you since you have no right to investigate. However, if you are able to show proper resolve, I would be willing to let you be my opponent. Are you willing to risk it? The prosecutor's badge. Mr. Edgeworth!
Mr. Edgeworth, sir!
Very well. I trust my own reasoning, but moreover, at the moment, I'm currently a defense attorney's assistant first. I'm currently a defense attorney's assistant first, and prosecutor second. I will not sully the good name of the Edgeworth law offices. I intend to see my job through. I won't yield to your threats.
So be it. Is it bravery or simply foolishness? On the goddess of law's behalf, I shall be the judge of that. Sebastian, allow me to...
Yeah, I got it. I'm counting on you, Justine.
Movement to the prison.
I presume you know the incident Mr. Knightley caused the day before yesterday. He attacked a guard and stole his keys. Afterwards, Simon Keyes stopped by his cell with an animal cage from the show. During this time, Mr. Knightley was able to use the stolen key to exit his cell. He then hid in the cage while it was moved to the prison workroom.
So Mr. Keyes went to his cell after all.
After hearing you talk about the security camera yesterday, we investigated it ourselves. Why don't you have a look? I have here a printout of the security camera footage.
Fucking... It's one of those little notebook things where you the flipbook movies. This is the moment when Mr. Keyes visited Knightley.
Exactly. As you can see, the cage creates a huge blind spot in the cell. By using this blind spot, Mr. Knightley could have entered the cage. That is our reasoning.
Yeah, I can only think of the German word for it right now, and that is definitely not the English word. It would be thumb cinema. A blind spot. That means the camera doesn't actually show him entering the cage. At this time, there's still the possibility that Knightley never left his cell. Yeah, flipbook kinda, but I usually think of when I hear flipbook, I don't actually think of that. But yeah, actually, it's flipbook. But why would he be hiding inside an animal cage?
Mr. Knightley was planning to escape from prison. That is the only possibility.
Prison escape, that's so cool!
First Mr. Albert and now Mr. Knightley.
I won't let them show me up. Okay, this isn't the time to get excited. Jailbird's escape is no laughing matter.
Simon Keyes was aiding Mr. Knightley in his escape. In other words, he was an accomplice.
Not that, Simon! Don't praise him!
That cage was transported temporarily to the workroom. Originally, Mr. Knightley was to remain hidden until the end of the animal show. He would then be carried out along with the cage. I presume that was the plan. However, midway through the plan, he was betrayed by Simon Keyes and murdered.
Judge Courtney's reasoning does appear to make sense. However, there must be a hole somewhere. Yeah, it's in the jail cell. I must not overlook anything.
Hold it!
Judge Courtney, about this incident.
You do not know of it? That would be unbecoming of you, Ace Attorney Miles Edgeworth.
Huh. Naturally I know of it. However, you said... Okay.
In that case, this is a waste of time. I shall continue. Mr. Knightley...
He attacked a guard and stole his keys.
Hold it!
Do you have proof, Knightley stole the keys?
It is the only explanation as to why Mr. Knightley would have attacked the guard. We will know for certain the moment the guard regains consciousness.
So he's a pun on keys and monkeys. I was thinking it was a keys pun first. Is that really true? Should I ask Judge Courtney for more information? Sure! There is one point in your reasoning that is odd. If Knightley did indeed steal the key, I'd expect he'd try to escape immediately. Was it really necessary for him to wait for Mr. Keyes to help him escape?
He simply chose the method with the highest probability of success. After stealing the key, he concealed it in his personage. As he waited for the opportune moment, that is what I believe.
He concealed the key. Judge Courtney, such an oversight is unlike you. Knightley could not have concealed the key, and I can prove it. Knightley did not hide the key, and the proof is...
Take that!
That? No, it's not. Wait, why can I...
Hold it!
Why can I skip all this? I don't get why I can skip this dialogue.
Yes, he stopped by the detention center's holding cells with the cage. This is Simon Keyes' own testimony. It can't be denied.
His visit to Knightley's cell ended up drawing suspicion, as one would imagine.
Simon was just clumsy.
Okay, I cannot skip this. This is weird.
Or he brought the cage to help Mr. Knightley escape. Which explanation do you think is more natural? I see you understand. Simon Keyes carried the cage to the detention center.
And this is weird. I don't know why I can skip some of this. Oh boy. Lag.
Take that!
crime scene notes, I guess? Nope. I'll try pressing the rest. Is that really true? Oh, there's more than one ask for more information. There is one point in your reasoning that is odd. If Knightley did indeed steal the key, I'd expect he'd try to oh, this is this again. So there's multiple of these. I have no idea, I don't see it. Okay, let's try this. And I can't skip this. Why would he have needed to do such a thing? In order to escape, how else would you explain his actions? Oh yeah, I should definitely do that. That is... The animal cages are made of metal. They would not have been subjected to a check. The animal show takes place once a month. So naturally, Simon Keys would have known about it. Yeah, that wasn't enough to negate her point. As long as the cage was covered, it would have been simple to avoid the guard's eyes. But instead of helping Mr. Knightley escape, Simon Keys betrayed and killed him. This is a truly unforgivable crime. Shop? She says Knightley stole the key to the blah blah blah. Is this the one? Okay, let's read these. Proof of my profession, however I prefer to keep it in my pocket. Detention center and prison maps. Touch the check button for details. Penetrating wound found in the neck. Died instantly. There are small bruises on his head. Has a sweet scent. Portable folding chessboard. Belonged to Knightley. There is a hidden space inside the chessboard. Yeah, chess pieces, right? I saw something similar in your office, Mr. Edgeworth. Huh? But the pieces here are black and white? Those are the correct colors. My pieces were custom made. Custom made? That sounds like treasure to me. Her eyes are sparkling. Does she intend to steal it? Let's see. Neo can probably catch you up. This compartment is quite deep. I could hide my secret savings in there. Do you have any savings to hide? Let's not talk about that. Found in workroom A, covered in mud from Selwood's mud packs, also covered in blood. Found with the body. Was it used to tie up the victim? Found near the body. There's a stack of them inside workroom A, very colorful. Open stores for animals, sounds alarms in response to a prisoner's bracelet. Prisoners can't move freely. I mean, is this real? But he could have stolen it. What? What? I don't get it. Haven't the guards informed you yet? They searched nightly after you attacked the guard, and the key was nowhere to be found. Since the key's location is unknown, your logic doesn't hold.
That is not an issue. There is an explanation. Mr. Knightley had the key. It simply wasn't found. The reason being, he concealed it inside the chessboard.
The chessboard? You mean the one that concealed the murder weapon?
Come now, how do we know whether or not the murder weapon was really there?
What? Take some responsibility for your own words. I guess, yeah.
That was all Sebastian's idea after all.
So, those two don't always agree on their reasoning.
In other words, once we put all the pieces together, Mr. Knightley concealed the key he stole from the guard inside the chessboard. When Simon Keyes arrived, Mr. Knightley used the key to slip out of his cell. He entered the animal cage and was transported to the workroom, all thanks to his accomplice, Simon Keyes. Mr. Knightley had planned to be carried outside after the show had ended. However, he was betrayed by his accomplice and murdered during the circus performance.
Mr. Keyes performed in the show. You would have had no opportunity to murder him during the circus performance.
No opportunity, is that so? The story plays itself out on the stage. And such was the case with the animal show.
Wow, you took a while to get here, Hydrobot. So she examined the content of the show.
The suspect plays the role of the villain who antagonizes the elephant heroine. In the final act, the villain is defeated by the heroine's love and all ends well. At that point, the suspect in the role of the villain is blown away by the heroine's burning love and makes his exit.
Blown away by the elephant?
Was he hurt? After being blown away, the suspect disappeared from the stage. The suspect was absent from the stage for about 15 minutes.
Are you saying the crime was committed during that time?
Even in such a short period of time, it would still be possible to carry out the murder. Don't you think so?
So he committed the crime in 15 minutes and then returned to the stage. That may have been possible if the crime scene had been the prison. That is not a... I don't think that's like a starting message, that's just a new thing it does, and that's why it has to tell everyone. Judge Courtney, the actual crime took place in the detention center.
I'm afraid I cannot accept that camera footage alone as evidence.
As for evidence, I have it.
Well then, please show us your evidence. Where is the evidence that shows that the scene of the crime was the detention center?
Blood! It's blood!
This is... the floor? Oh, goddess of law, I am unable to... Oh, goddess of law, I am unable to comprehend your mysterious ways.
This is what we discovered. The area here was tested positive for Mr. Knightley's blood.
This blood test, can it really be trusted? To begin with, how were you able to conduct a scientific investigation?
I happen to have a subordinate. I can't vouch for his competence, but he is a man that I trust.
That detective? This concerns me.
I cannot think why one would disturb the order of law. The Prangadangadank influence goes as far as the police department. Haha. Gummy's in trouble! Forgive me, Detective. I'm afraid something bad may come of this. I will accept the fact that blood was found at the detention center as evidence. However...
How ridiculous! This is unthinkable of you, you third-rate prosecutor!
Mr. The Best, you're here? I'd completely forgotten about him.
There's a giant contradiction in your statement. According to the security tape, a dog killed Knightley in his cell. Then, after he left the cell, the blood on the floor was wiped away.
Ah!
Did the dog wipe away the bloodstains? As if that could happen! How could a dog wipe it?
That is possible. Of my Anubis, right, boy?
What?
That was one of the tricks I taught him while I was still in the outside world. He makes sure to hide any bloodstains he makes. So as not to leave behind any evidence. God damn that voice. Water. I was saved, if only by chance. Shouldn't you have taught your dog to shake or something? Anubis also perverts that trick very well. Fuck me. But the shake I taught him is a little different from others. It just sucks because I can't do it loud. First, he bites the victim's hand. Stop! 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 I don't want to hear any more! I see. I understand. Prosecutor Edgeworth, it appears you've gathered a good hand. I'm glad you understand.
My argument isn't over yet!
Objection overruled. Hey now, that's a little harsh. Sebastian, would you allow me the privilege of explaining?
Sure, Justine.
Do you finally realize the murder occurred? Can you stop saying the murder occurred? It sounds really stupid. It sounds like that ages-old Irma Gerd. Gersh burns my favorite birds me when the murder occurred in the detention center. Therefore, that assassin's pet dog. My opinion has not changed. Unless I can understand how the dog was able to enter and leave the crime scene, I'm afraid I cannot accept your logic, Prosecutor Edgeworth. I've been waiting for you to say that. Now, let me show you. This evidence shows the route the dog used to go between the detention center and the prison.
Take that!
This photo... It shows a secret tunnel hidden in the prison. Really?
That's impossible! A secret tunnel!
This tunnel was dug by the escaped prisoner, Jailbird. It begins in his prison cell, and it's connected to a holding cell in the detention center. Namely, the victim's cell. Yeah, Neo can probably catch you up. You should do it like a little but do it like a little more in depth than you did with Docs, cause yeah, she's blind to this game. Namely, the victim's cell. Not yet. But Jailbird escaped. I'm shocked. How did this... Dogen, you must have known of this, since you used this tunnel to commit murder.
In the name of the goddess of law, I hereby reject Prosecutor Edgeworth's claim.
Hold it!
What do you mean?
Evidence is everything. That remains true here, just as in the courtroom. Isn't that right? I have evidence here. Horace Knightley's autopsy report.
Autopsy report! That's my line!
Since when?
Why are you surprised?
This was delivered straight from the police a short while ago. It's not complete yet, more of a preliminary report. Here, the very word of the goddess of law is written. Cause of death, stab wound to the neck, died instantly, murder weapon, sharp metal object. The victim was stabbed multiple times in the same spot with a sharp object, although they were unable to determine the actual shape of the murder weapon. They have clear proof that it was a sharp metal object. So do you still stand by your claim that a dog used a sharp object to kill the victim?
This can't be!
That is all. The court is adjourned.
But wait! The tunnel contains the dog's footprints! Perhaps it may have been one of Anubis's walking courses. I can never tell what Anubis gets up to outside my cell. Something feels unnatural about all this, but I have no evidence. Courtney Pie, you sure pulled out a hidden gem at the very last moment. She waited for the perfect time to reveal the autopsy report. Have I let her out with me again?
Appointed Attorney Shields. Here is the autopsy report from earlier. I apologize for the delay.
No, it's alright. Thank you. Autopsy report. Was stabbed with a sharp metal object. Well, shit. I'll gladly accept it.
Mr. Shields, I don't believe it's necessary to hold hands while exchanging documents. I'd advise you to stop. Persist any longer, and I shall call on the strength of the goddess of law.
I'll be careful.
Justine, well done, just as I planned.
I only acted in accordance to your instructions.
The autopsy report came straight from the police. I can't refute it. However, if the murder weapon wasn't the dog, Dogen will be cleared of suspicion.
The merciful goddess of law so decrees. If you choose to yield now, your badge will not be taken.
What will you do, sir? She says that, but... My answer remains the same. Judge Courtney, it is as I said before. I will see my job through, and I will not yield to threats.
So even now, you still refuse to give up.
And, the warden also, she's investigating, cause like, Dogen is basically a supplier in this prison who can get anything from outside to inside, and, the warden was investigating Dogen on that.
You still refuse to give up? If you want to keep your badge, this may be your last chance.
Right now, I'm a defense attorney's assistant. What I protect is not my badge, but my client. The goddess of law grows weary of your sentiment. Now we're talking. Miles is starting to understand that a defense attorney never gives up. That's weird punctuation. Actually, those were the words of your old man, my father. It really is in your blood. You're the spitting image of him right now. You say yourself, you changed since you were tainted by Von Karma. It's only now that I've actually come to believe it. Mr. Shields. Well then, Miles, now's the time to put those skills to the test. Think beyond your limits. If your murder weapon was a sharp object, does that really negate your reasoning? The murder weapon was a sharp object. That's it. There were 5 chisels placed inside the special cell. Dogen is a former assassin. It's quite possible he could kill someone with just a chisel. In that case, the weapon that killed Horace Knightley was...
Is that all? Well then, I suppose you'll be given up.
Evidence is everything, didn't you say? The murder weapon was a sharp metal object. However, such a weapon has yet to be found.
What? So what are you trying to say?
The only decisive evidence is the actual murder weapon itself. And that was in plain sight this whole time. The real murder weapon is... Dogen's chisel!
What did you say?
Yes, and the elephant is like, is part of the animal show in a love triangle, is trying to get together with a tiger. Simon plays the monkey. He also has a pet monkey, but he himself plays the monkey that is trying to break those two up. And the alligator is just the warden's pet, which is called Allie.
Take responsibility for your own statements. The scene of the crime was Mr. Knightley's cell. You said so yourself.
If the evidence changes, then so will my logic. That too is courtroom procedure, is it not? If the chisel was used, that means the killer was human. Does it though? However, the fact remains that we cannot deny the security photo.
Yeah, what about that photo?
I'll give you the answer. This photo shows the moment that the dog leapt at the victim. Dogen's dog leapt at Knightley. However, the victim did not die at that time.
Didn't die?
He was only knocked unconscious. The dog didn't move a dead body. It moved the unconscious Knightley. And the real killer was its owner. I see. The victim was moved. It would have been possible for Dogen to commit the murder. And by the way, this is not 2 hours. It's just an hour and a half. I talked with Neo for half an hour, so as to not get too far into the game while nobody was watching.
And use the murder weapon.
Indeed, the killer is Sirhan Dogen. It can only be you.
I bet your teacher used to write on your report card, needs to pay more attention on what others say.
I would think that describes you more.
We examined that room, every nook, every crook and cranny. Right, Justine?
We examined all 4 of Mr. Dogen's chisels.
5.
And found no traces of blood.
Thank you, Judge Courtney. Thanks to you, I am now certain.
Thanks to me? Whatever do you mean?
When I came here earlier, I saw 5 chisels.
That's right! There were definitely 5 here before.
So the one that disappeared was the smallest one, presumably for portable use. Dogen, where is that chisel?
I am not free to leave this place. I've no need for a portable chisel.
I gotta drink again to get his voice back.
Not free to leave. In that case, he mustn't have been free to hide the deadly chisel either. Dogen, you just dug your own grave.
It seems you know something. Would you care to show it?
Dogen couldn't leave, so the place he hid the chisel is... right here? Dogen is a prisoner, so he can't leave his cell freely. Perhaps he could have sent his dog out to dispose of it, but he would not have been able to confirm the weapon's location.
So what does that leave?
Above all else, special metal tools are allowed in this cell. Even if one chisel were to appear here, no one would suspect a thing. You'd be a fool not to take advantage of that. I see. Of course, it's always safest if you go do something yourself.
But I examined everything! I didn't find any hidden places in the cell.
I am certain that the murder weapon is here. The reason you haven't found it is because it was cleverly hidden.
You say I hid it? Where exactly?
Think. Where could he have hidden it? I have to remember everything up to this point. There must be some clue. Does this mean what I think it means?
Let's get going, Mr. Edgeworth!
Come to think of it, that dog hasn't barked at me once today. Oh god, that's mean! Previously, I came to the special cell. It barked on Dogen's command. That's it! That's what's been out of place. There's just one place he could have hidden the murder weapon.
Given up already? How dull, how dull.
Hold it!
I will present evidence. This piece of evidence shows where you concealed the murder weapon. That's mean! Hasn't your dog been awfully quiet today? Oh yeah, Missile was there. He first went to this cell, found cake that Gumshoe then proceeded to eat, and then he went to to Albert's cell, where he found the hole, because the hole smelled like Knightley, who apparently has a sweet scent on his body, for some reason. Hasn't your dog been awfully quiet today?
Now that you mention it, it hadn't barked at all before it was... Sir Dogen, open that dog's mouth, now!
Anubis doesn't bark needlessly. I ordered him to do that before.
In that case, order it to bark now.
Naturally, you should be able to. If you have nothing to hide.
It was inevitable. Anubis, show them your mouth.
Well then! As you can see, a dog of this size can easily
What? I have to say what before you can even read your own line, Edgeworth, because I'm a dickhead. Why a chisel? The dog really had one in its mouth.
Oh, why a chisel? That's how it was supposed to go. I thought he was unusually quiet. Was he unable to follow the discussion? Of course he wasn't. Sebastian? Could you call the forensics department? Urgently, please.
I got it.
A reaction! This chisel tests positive for blood.
What?
I guess that proves my theory. I guess that proves my theory wasn't just nonsense. Would this chisel be the murder weapon then? It reacted positively for blood. There's no doubt about that. I mean, isn't that the point? That's kind of the point of luminol. Yeah, luminol still notices blood even if it has been wiped. Mr. Sirhan Dogan, now that the murder weapon has been found, I must ask you for your testimony. Oh boy, I have to read a testimony from him. We now know your dog got to the detention center, and we found the murder weapon. Do you still think you can talk your way out of this?
Interesting.
This guy, even at a time like this, he's still smiling.
Well, Anubis, it seems everyone has become suspicious of you. It's quite troubling, but since it has come to this, we have no choice but to tell the truth. I did not kill anyone. I've long since grown weary of killing.
Shit! Fuck me, that voice is not easy to keep up. What's this? His face looks completely composed. It seems we'll need to learn to Mr. Dogan's explanation. Please promptly give your testimony.
Certainly. First of all, I would like you to explain my motive. I do not know anyone by the name of Knightley. We share no connection. So I wouldn't think someone before murder.
Fuck!
So I wouldn't think someone before murder will just appear out of nowhere. Or are you insinuating my Anubis had a motive? He only bears his fangs at others at my command.
Oh god.
I do not hunger for blood so much as to kill a man. I do not even know.
Coming from an assassin, it sure is persuasive. An assassin who only kills acquaintances? I doubt that would be profitable.
I may kill strangers in my line of work, but I never make it personal.
Is there evidence that shows a connection between Knightley and Dogan? Yes, there is. Why am I asking myself? I should thoroughly review the evidence once more. First of all, I would like for you to explain my motive. I do not know anyone by the name of Knightley, and that is a lie. God, fuck. Everything's so slow.
Objection!
You've lost your touch, Sir Dogan. If you had your dog clean up after you, you should have disposed of this too. This is a record of a correspondence chess game found in the victim's cell. This record and the chessboard in your cell both clearly depict the same game.
What?
I've heard that the number of possible chess positions is around 10 to the 120. That's a fucking lot. 10 times 10, 120 times 100,000. Is that even a real number? Indeed, there's absolutely no way these two could have coincided by chance. Tell us your reason for killing Knightley, unless you intend to explain this as a coincidence.
Well, don't they say that the truth is stranger than fiction?
It's a decently well-known fact if you get into chess.
It is as you said, this is merely a coincidence.
But there's no way that could have happened.
My correspondence chess opponent was the victim in this incident? What a horrible coincidence. Aren't you shocked too, Anubis? Looks like I'll have to tell them the truth, Anubis, my boy.
Okay, I think I can keep that voice up a little longer.
The animal show was something. That was when everyone left.
Oh shit, I didn't read that line. Not even going by.
He had already been stabbed in the neck with the murder weapon. I did not wish to be suspected, so I had Anubis carry the body to the workroom. After that, he pulled out the murder weapon and returned to me.
So you're saying the one who pulled the murder weapon out was Anubis?
That's right. If I pulled out the murder weapon here, the blood would have been a problem.
Mr. Edgeworth, isn't this what that Sawit guy said? A large black dog was biting into the neck of the victim.
What did you say?
It was a truly hellish scene. That dog killed him. I see. So that means Sawit witnessed the moment the murder weapon was pulled out.
Oh yes, that prisoner's testimony. It surprised me when I first heard it. It's not often that Anubis makes a blunder like that, right, boy? Now, I believe that explains my actions. I did not kill him. All I did was remove...
Shit!
All I did was remove the murder weapon. Now will that be all? Anubis is getting tired.
Objection.
Whoa there, just a moment. Mr. Dogan. Oh god, I'm breathing out so much during Dogan's voice that I almost feel a little dizzy that moment. Mr. Shields. Where's my water? Where's my water? There's my water. Is there one thing you haven't explained? Why would you need to pull out the murder weapon in the first place?
That's right. I understand why he'd move the body to draw suspicion away from him, but he didn't need to retrieve the murder weapon. I thought of him just a fool, but how quickly his scent has changed.
Care to elaborate, Mr. Dogan?
It was because of this bell. The bell attached to the murder weapon, and the bell on my dog's neck.
Oh my god.
They share a distinctive shape, wouldn't you say?
The assassination, Sirhan. The assassin is Sirhan Dogan's trademark.
An assassin's trademark?
The blind assassin, Sirhan Dogan. He always appeared at the sound of a bell.
Yes.
The sound of a bell ringing in the dark of night is said to be the last thing his target hears. Yeah, and I'm hoping they're not the culprit for like two different reasons. For Dogan, cause I can't do his voice. For Albert, because his voice hurts me. And for the warden, I can't even ever remember the voice I do for her.
Remember well. It has been a while since you last saw my bells after all.
Yes, please.
Well, Simon's voice is also very bad.
When I prosecuted you in court, I confiscated a knife with the bell attached to it.
Yes, my bells. There are only 2 in the world.
Only 2?
They're custom made, attached to my knife and Anubis's collar. Even though I can only rely on my ears, I can easily identify them. Alas, one has been confiscated and is no longer in my possession. When Anubis brought the body here, I heard a familiar sound. I thought my knife must have been embedded in the body. So imagine my confusion when I found out that it was merely a chisel with my bell attached.
Indeed, your knife has nothing like a chisel.
Either way, those bells are my trademark. Moreover, I'm the only one in this prison who uses chisels. With all this, I knew I would be falsely suspected. So I removed the murder weapon and hid it.
Hold it!
So you're claiming that you only moved the body?
Didn't I tell you? That chisel isn't mine. If you think I'm lying, go ahead and check for my fingerprints.
Sebastian?
Me? And how do I check for it?
Forensics.
Yes, ma'am. Reaction! We have fingerprints! They're Knightley's, Justine!
What about Dogan's?
Nope, just Knightley's. And there's no evidence of prints being wiped either.
Only Knightley's fingerprints. It can't be.
Should we re-examine it?
See now? I never touched that chisel. Because I ordered Anubis to carry it in his mouth. In other words, the fingerprints belong to the chisel's original owner.
The murder weapon's owner was the victim? This is perplexing.
At any rate, I did not touch the murder weapon. In other words, the killer could not have been me. Isn't that right?
I have nothing to refute that. How could this? Is he really not the killer? Could Dogan's testimony actually be true? This can't be!
It seems this is sufficient enough not to warrant any further explanation. As it stands, you have not changed the state of this case. I believe this is more than enough reason for us to relieve you of your badge. To save any needless fuss, I'd suggest you hand over your badge now.
This is bad, sir! This sounds serious! It's regrettable, but With those prints as decisive evidence, I'll have to rethink my logic from step 1. But there are still many unexplained things. Why would Mr. Knightley be carrying a chisel?
It could be used for many things, perhaps even prison escapes.
Well then, how did he carry it into the prison? I mean, the prisoners aren't even allowed cutlery, right, Mr. Edgeworth? Mr. Edgeworth?
Hmm?
Even if your reasoning is off at first, you shouldn't let that confuse you. The most important thing is to arrive at the truth, isn't that right? It doesn't matter how you get there. The end result is to save Simon. I mean, she talks a lot, so I'm trying to just make it my voice but higher. We have to do everything we can for his sake.
Well said, Kay.
Nice one, Kay. Well, I use my normal voice for people that are not named. I really want to scout you for the law firm now. Remember when Uncle Ray said a defense attorney never gives up? Miles, do you understand the true meaning behind those words? The true meaning of those words. Defense attorneys carry the fate of their clients on their shoulders. Oh boy.
Hey everybody, it's Mortimer. Maybe I could try that.
Honk. You are the only person your client can rely on. Just like with Mr. Keys. We are the only ones who can save him now. We are linked by fate to our clients. That is why we must never give up. There's no way Uncle Ray could go against the teachings of Gregory. So, what will you do? Currently, I am a defense attorney's assistant. No, an assistant at my father's firm. Oh my god! Sorry! I had my commitment to this case, therefore, I've made a commitment to this kid. Well, if I don't save my client, I cannot say I've achieved it. I will abide by this, to save Simon Keys. No matter how many times my logic fails, I will always find another possibility. Wait.
Mortimer. Okay, you're finally back.
That's awful, but I'll try to continue.
Well then, let's search for the other possibility. To start with, do you think there was a way Mr. Knightley could have brought the chisel into the prison?
The method Knightley used to bring the chisel into the prison was... well, I mean, the chessboard. Normally, metal objects can't be brought into the detention center or the prison.
It'd just be...
Mortimer, it'd just be caught by the security gate. I keep having to redo that one line, so I have to remember what the voice is, but I hope that doesn't continue. However, there is one way to avoid this. And that is if they're sent in a package to the detention center.
That gate is only used on people.
Oh, I don't have any pain on Kay. I had way more pain on Elbert.
In other words, packages sent to the detention center undergo a simpler check.
Yeah, it is. So they don't use a metal detector for that.
This never should have happened. It seems the guards were too careless.
Knowing this, Knightley asked Simon to send him the package. Yep. Sorry. Namely, a chessboard containing the chisel.
Well, this has solved one of our problems. The fact that the chisel was not Mr. Dogan's, but Mr. Knightley's.
Given this, one major issue remains. The security camera shows a dog attacking the victim. As long as that exists, I will maintain that Dogan is the killer. But Dogan never touched the murder weapon. I'm stumped.
We also desire a conclusion to this matter.
Mr. Edgeworth, you can use one of my secret weapons, sir. Secret weapon number 4! The video analyzing machine, Mr. Analysis! Oh yeah, that was also a thing. Gumshoe had 7 secret weapons, which were the metal detector, missile, and a fishing pole that he accidentally brought. And that's it, those were the 7. What's with that ridiculous name? I named it myself, sir. This will let us analyze video footage in detail.
Go ahead. You'll soon see I'm not lying.
I don't know what will come of this, but all we can do now is investigate. Mr. Edgeworth, do you know how to use Mr. Analysis? A video analysis machine. Should I hear how to use it? I mean, I guess. Detective Gumshoe, could you show me how to use it? Of course, sir! Fundamentally, it's the same as investigating a crime scene. You just examine anything that piques. It's not a fish. That piques your curiosity. To examine, I just press the X button. What the fuck is an X button? Now I'd like you to look at the buttons below the monitor. The left and right buttons will rewind and fast forward respectively. And the center button lets you pause the video. Let's make good use of it to advance our investigation, sir. To rewind and fast forward, I use the Y and A buttons. Am I in a video game? And to pause, I use the B button. This is really weird and meta. While pause, you can go to the previous frame and the next frame. You just use the same left and right buttons as before, sir. Next, I'll explain how to zoom in. Just point the cursor at the area you want to zoom in on and press the button on the upper left of Mr. Analysis. The one that says Zoom Plus. It seems I can also use the L button to zoom in. After you zoomed in, you can examine it just like you would with the original image. Use the previous frame and next frame buttons to examine frame by frame. But you can't actually play back the video in this mode, so keep that in mind. And what should I do if I want to zoom out? Just press the top left button on Mr. Analysis again, sir. Now it should say Zoom Minus. And that concludes the explanation, sir. I'm honestly not sure why I voice acted a tutorial. Well then, let's turn on Mr. Analysis. Use Mr. Analysis to examine any suspicious part of the video, sir. This is the video from the detention center's camera. I believe this was the moment when Knightley was being attacked by the dog. If that wasn't the case, then what does it show? Is the person in this video really Knightley? And what is the true form of the black silhouette attacking this person? I should check the video and try to find the answers to these 2 questions. There could be unexpected things in unexpected places, so be sure to check every nook and cranny of the video, sir. What part of the video is strange? Oh, I didn't mean to. Wow, that's laggy. Hey, can I... Wow, it's only ever 1 second. Okay. What the fuck with the police? With the police outfit. Nothing here. I should have another. Okay. I guess I can zoom in. Nothing here. This is... I guess, yeah. What the fuck? This is... I fear we have made a grave miscalculation. This animal, this silhouette, no matter how you look at it, it is not a dog. This animal is a bear. Fuck. 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 I have to voice Jailbird more. From the silhouette, I'd say the animal is not a dog, but a bear.
Mortimer! So then, in that photo...
Wait, no. Wait, no.
Mortimer... So then, in that photo I took...
I can't even do her voice anymore.
Hi everybody, I'm Mortimer. So then, in that photo I took...
Those footprints must have belonged to this bear, yes? Oh boy.
Do you say a bear?
Yes. That man is the first to come to mind. Now that we know this black shadow isn't a dog, but a bear. Oh wait, what was the thing again? Ah, dang it! I forgot her outro. Be sure to subscribe so you guys don't miss it. And I'll see. I don't even know.
Hey everybody, I'm Mortimer. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so you guys don't miss it. And I'll see you again next time, I guess. Hot dog stuff.
I can't even do an Aaron voice either. Now that we know this black shadow isn't a dog but a bear, there's a good possibility that the man being attacked is not Nightly. Whatever can show that this man is Nightly should be Nightly should be somewhere in this video, wouldn't it, sir? Since the face is not visible, it would be difficult to get direct confirmation. However, perhaps there is something indirectly reflected. Something reflected? Something reflected? Hey, isn't there a mirror in the cell, sir? Indeed. That could be worth examining. Okay, let's just... Oh, that's always on pause. I'm just holding the A button at this point. God damn, this is so slow. Okay. The reflection of this person can be seen in this mirror. Is that a cap on his head? Actually, it looks kind of like the caps the prison guards... Actually, it kind of looks like the caps the prison guards wear, sir. You don't think it was a guard who was attacked? Have you received a report of any guard being attacked by an animal? No, not that I've heard, sir. Then it was someone else wearing a guard's uniform. I see. I have evidence that shows what this cap is. It is... yes.
Take that!
There was no report of a guard being attacked by an animal. However, we did hear that a guard's uniform was stolen. Putting two and two together, I'd say this was a disguise for the purpose of a prison escape.
Disguised as a guard? That sounds like it could have been successful, sir. Huh? Speaking of prison escapes...
Indeed, that person certainly was successful. We were all under the impression that the person in this video was Knightley.
Welcome back to another episode of Kitty Cat Gaming. But it's his cell after all. Why would it be anyone else?
That line of logic no longer holds. Remember the tunnel under his bed? It's possible whoever used this tunnel is the one in this video.
It seems that it's time to answer that question. Just who is the man in this video?
The person in this video is...
Take that!
The person wearing the guard's uniform is... the escaped prisoner, Jailbird. The probability is extremely high. His pet is a polar bear cub.
But the bear here is black.
We have evidence that can explain this matter. The reason the polar bear became black is...
Take that!
think back to Frank Sawit's testimony. That's the rubber glove I dropped. Where did the mud on this glove come from?
Ah, that's the mud from my mud packs. At the time I was practicing applying my mud packs.
Could you tell me when this took place on the day of the incident?
Since the animal show had started, I'd say it was around 9 AM. The mud packs turned the animal's bodies pitch black, and my heart was pure white. I was totally engrossed with covering the animals in mud.
During the animal show, Mr. Sawit was applying mud packs to the animals.
So then, among those animals,
Was this polar bear? Yes.
Prosecutor Edgeworth, there is a huge contradiction in your argument. The security camera footage...
Judge Courtney, you are quite right. Sawit used the mud packs during the animal show. Knowing this, a new contradiction in the video comes to light.
A new contradiction? Hot dogs, duh? A new contradiction?
Kay, do you know when this footage was taken?
It was after the mud packs were used. That would put it around 9 AM. Mortimer. It was after the mud packs were used. That would put it around 9 AM.
In that case, you should notice something strange about this video.
Huh? What's strange about it?
The strange thing that contradicts the time this video was taken is... I mean, what? Wait, what? Is it just the bear?
Take that!
It's not the bear.
That's the contradiction?
I don't know if I can keep up the Susie voice, but I'll try.
To keep this as her voice, I guess.
So where specifically is the contradiction? Specifically around here.
I'm afraid I cannot accept such chunkier terms.
I usually don't voice act for failed scenes.
Mr. Edgeworth, is there really something strange in this video?
In this case, there's something obviously I mean, is it literally just the time? It's literally just the time. Fucking... What if this video contradicts that it was 9 AM? That it's not 9 AM? The time Sawit covered the polar bear in mud was around 9 AM, which means this video should have also been taken at 9 AM. However, the timestamp reads 6 AM. On that day, the prisoners went to the courtyard to watch the animal show. At this time, only 3 people remained behind. Dogan in the special cell, Sawit in the workroom applying his mud packs, and the one who put his escape plan in motion at that moment, Jailbird. Albert left the polar bear in Sawit's care and entered the secret tunnel. However, the bear escaped from Sawit and followed after its owner. And just as he was chasing after the escaped bear, Sawit happened to witness the dog pulling the murder weapon out of the body. If Sawit's testimony is correct, this video must have been taken at around 9 AM. However, the timestamp is off by 3 hours. Actually, it's kind of 2 hours and 18 minutes.
Why would the timestamp be off like that?
Detective Gumshoe, I'd like you to examine the security camera.
Sorry to keep you waiting, sir. I asked all the guards and... It seems the camera's power was cut off for a moment, throwing off the timestamp.
What?
The camera is an old model, so if it loses power, the clock stops it as well.
In that case, this means the camera's power was cut for 3 hours.
While I'm at it, I've got some more information for you, sir. You heard that Knightley denied stealing the key, right? It seems nobody would believe the words of a criminal, but... Knightley testified I was knocked out too.
That may not necessarily be a lie. Fucker.
Darling, my, there you all are. Making progress in your investigation. Can I be of any help?
Actually, Warden Roland, there is something we must report to you. The escaped prisoner, Jailbird, is most likely still inside the prison. He has disguised himself. Here is the proof. The person visible in this security video is Albert. So perhaps he's still in this very building.
Come to think of it, didn't Mr. Albert have a bracelet like the other prisoners?
The bracelet would have been concealed under the uniform sleeves. Moreover, the prison's main gate does not have a sensor to detect bracelets. All he would have to do is avoid any doors with sensors inside the prison.
That's right. So if he didn't enter the cells of the workrooms, could one of you guys be Jailbird? Rocky!
I don't even know the voice anymore.
Stop it! What are you doing?
It would seem that Rocky has answered that question for us. No! Rocky! This is all your fault! God damn it, my voice hurts already. The little guy loves you so much, it's enviable. Rubbenled. Right then, seize him at once. Wait, there's something we must hear from this prisoner. It's necessary if we are to find the truth. I'd like permission to interrogate him. Understood.
What do you want out of me?
Albert's escape route is linked to Knightley's cell. So it's highly likely that he knows something about the crime. I'd like to ask you about the day of the body was found. Oh, fuck me.
So it was you guys. You were the ones who found my secret tunnel. Took me ages to dig that. The day the body was found was the day I had planned to escape. I was in disguise. Then Rocky followed after me. When he was all covered in mud, I panicked and returned to my cell. Damn, if only you guys hadn't shown up. If only Knightley hadn't died.
You say you dug the tunnel. What did you use to dig it?
Oh, that. Just hammers and spoons, stuff like that. I bought them from the supplier, but it was all for nothing. Next, no need to lose your temper. There's always next time.
These two together are not good for my fucking for not falling unconscious. Actually, I'm gonna open the window. On the day of the incident, it's possible that Albert met Knightley while he was alive. I'll have to listen to his testimony carefully. Yeah, is the chapter break still far away? You're the ones who found my secret tunnel.
You shut up! What's with that hold it, punk? You say you do- What is it with you? You know how long it took me to dig that?
I have not had a chapter break.
I had to beg the supplier for those tools. Day after day, I slaved away. Give me a break, my hard work. Give me back my hard work. Give it back, you son of a...
I can't get a word in edgewise.
You can't just go around discovering people's holes.
I guess the day the body was found was the day I had planned to escape. I was in disguise. Then Rocky followed after me, but he was all covered in mud. I panicked and returned to my cell. I can't see anything else but just pressing everything. But let's see what Edward has to say. It's possible that Albert met Knightley before he died. I should listen to his testimony carefully and review the evidence. So it should be... You were the ones who found my secret tunnel. Took me ages to dig that. The day the body was found was the day I had planned to escape. I was in disguise. Then Rocky followed after me, but he was all covered in mud. I panicked and returned to my cell. I'm gonna have to press more, I don't see it. So you dug that hole alone?
You're damn right I did.
could a tunnel like that really be dug by one person?
How? Wow, such a wasted effort.
A kid like you wouldn't understand. Never rely on others. Never let others see you. Those are the rules we live by in here.
Well, as a great thief, I kinda see where you're coming from.
Kay, don't agree with him.
No, I was just joking.
Well, I wasn't. Damn, why'd it come to this?
Did you obtain the guard's uniform from the supplier too?
Yeah, that's right. Seems he got it by threatening a guard. That guy went and stole it from someone's locker.
So when you went through the tunnel, you were already dressed like a guard?
No. To ensure that the clothes wouldn't get stained with mud, I carried them with me. Once I got out of the hole and changed clothes, getting out the cell doors was simple. And that's when Rocky ran up and jumped on me.
That must be the moment the security camera captured. I see. Could you add that to your testimony? Once I got out of the hole and changed my clothes, getting out the cell doors was simple. Nope. Here's available. Your testimony contains this piece of evidence. No, it doesn't. Punch, punch, punch. Your fists are pathetic. You think you can break with God, but God damn it. Let's press that again, I guess. See if anything more comes out. Getting out the cell doors was simple, you say?
Yeah, compared to going through the tunnel, it was very simple.
You inhabit a prison, yet you seem to know the layout of the detention center quite well.
What's so wrong about that? Sure, I've been to the detention center too.
In that case, he should have known about it from the start. When Knightley was in his cell, the door would have been locked. I tried the bracelet, but I don't think the bracelet doesn't react to anything in that location, which means there was one piece of evidence Albert needed to escape. Well, okay, yeah. Once I got out of the hole, change was simple. You had the keys. You say it was simple getting through the cell door.
Yeah, that's right. You got a problem with that, huh?
Even though you managed to arrive at Knightley's cell, opening the door wasn't so simple. You had to how did you intend to unlock the cell door? Jailbird, you had the key to Knightley's cell.
I ain't got nothing like that. That's it. It was open. It was already unlocked when I got there.
Indeed, the cell was vacant after Knightley's death, which is why, at the time we conducted our investigation, it was unlocked. Your successful escape attempt occurred after Knightley's death, so the door would have been open. However, you had tried to escape once before then.
Plan was foiled thanks to Rocky. The video shows it.
Yes, that was during the animal show, before Knightley's death was known. And the cell door was locked because no one knew he was dead. Without the key to Knightley's cell, your escape would have been impossible.
Gah! Gah!
That means it can't be.
It's exactly what you think. In the case of the stolen key, the culprit is Jailbird. You were the one who attacked the guard, weren't you? The guard and Knightley too, in order to steal the cell key.
It wasn't me. I don't know any Knightley.
After stealing the key, you returned to your cell as a precautionary measure. Then you waited for a time when the prison would be mostly vacant. That was just before Knightley's death became known. In other words, during the animal show. But in the end, the plan was foiled thanks to Rocky.
Don't screw me. If you don't have evidence, I still win by decision. Besides, it was that Knightley guy who attacked the guard, right?
I think not. Regarding the theft of the keys, Knightley was the victim. This proves Knightley was the victim who was attacked in his cell. Oops, I just accidentally did something. God damn it. Okay, I fixed it, I think. I thought something was going on. Because everything was slow.
Take that!
In Knightley's cell, there were traces of his blood, which had been wiped away. I believe this is more than enough proof Knightley was attacked in his cell. You attacked those two people and stole the key, didn't you?
Damn. I never thought you'd find the bloodstain wiped away with the newspaper.
Why would you go through all the trouble of wiping the bloodstain?
I still don't know what her voice is. She's gonna shape up being just like Edgeworth. I keep changing her voice.
On the hands of Knightley and the guard, there were obvious signs of a scuffle, you know? If the bloodstains were uncovered, they'd find out there was another attacker. And if anyone looked around the bed, the tunnel I dug would be discovered.
So you were trying to buy more time for your escape attempt. But I'm afraid to say your plan still ended in failure. Now then, hand over the keys to Knightley's cell. Dang!
No way. How could an amateur like you knock me out? Here, I got the keys right here.
Why update it though? That means this is not over.
Hold it. If you have that key, then that means...
That's right. Judge Courtney, you reasoned that Knightley stole the key and used it to leave his cell. From there, he entered Mr. Key's cage and was moved to the workroom. However, the very foundation of the hypothesis has collapsed.
Ah!
How?
I see. In that case, there was only one person who could have moved Knightley. The criminal must have been someone who knew about the secret tunnel.
Hey, are you suggesting... Jailbird, you're under arrest, pal! But I already am! Also, I didn't do nothing! Sure, I knocked those two guys out. Knocked out those two guys. Then I stole the keys. And after that, I waited for the perfect time to enter that guy's cell. But the cell was empty then. There was no dead body either. And also, how could I have gotten into the workroom? I couldn't even leave my own cell, right?
It's true, you only had the key to Knightley's cell. But there's also Dogan's dog.
What?
It'd be possible for the dog to carry the body from the cell to the workroom. I see. So you're saying that was an accomplice? The crime would have been possible if Albert and Dogan were working together. It's perfectly plausible. Somehow Albert managed to carry Knightley's body to his own cell.
And then, the dog must have carried it to the workroom.
Yes, because all the animals can move freely in this prison. But that's not the case for the path between the detention center and the prison. The only one who could use that route was you, Jailbird.
What if there was another route that you didn't know about?
That couldn't have been. The tunnel was a straight path, is it not? Yeah, seems like it. I didn't have enough time to dig any more than I did. I only dug halfway up the corridor. What? You mean to say that you didn't dig the entire tunnel? When I got to that cell, the tunnel was already there. There was a tunnel linking my cell to the well. Looking down the well from the courtyard, there was no mistaking it. They've always been connected. I just continued the tunnel with my digging. What was that hole doing there in the first place? Who knows? Maybe another inmate dug it in an attempt to escape.
Or maybe the animals dug it. Maybe they wanted to drink from the well.
That's highly doubtful. There's no water in that well anymore. It's all dried up. Wait a minute. That's it! For some reason, the well gave off a nice scent. A nice scent. I don't know what it was, but it smelled sweet, like candy. This scent, I believe we've come across it before. We know this scent from...
Take that!
Knightley's body was giving off a sweet candy-like scent. We used a police dog to track that scent, and that led us to discover the tunnel. By any chance, could this be the same scent as well?
Prosecutor Edgeworth, I know what you're trying to say.
Well, to be honest, anyone could have stopped the prison break on the way out.
That the scent proves the body was carried down through the tunnel.
Exactly. And Jailbird, you are the only one who could have used the tunnel.
Thank you. Mr. Elbert, I'm very grateful to you. At last the truth comes to light. Mr. Elbert, wouldn't it be wise to confess now? To being an accomplice, I mean.
Don't tell me, even you suspect me too? Judge Courtney, it seems you and I have come to the same conclusion.
Not at all. Our thoughts on this matter are still quite different. Mr. Elbert was certainly an accomplice, but an accomplice to Horace Knightley.
Hold it!
What do you mean?
Mr. Elbert did not move the body. He simply lent the victim his keys.
What?
It would seem Mr. Elbert did indeed strike Mr. Knightley on the head. However, Mr. Knightley was not knocked out. The two must have made a little negotiation.
Negotiation?
For Mr. Knightley's escape plan to work, he would have needed the keys to his cell. So Mr. Elbert stole them from the guard. On the other hand, for Mr. Elbert to escape, he needed to get to Mr. Knightley's cell. But if Mr. Knightley had seen him and yelled, the plan would have gone down the drain. And so, they negotiated.
I didn't negotiate nothing!
Oh, you still intend to deny it?
I see. So in other words, we're back where we started.
Mr. Elbert opened the cell door and Mr. Knightley entered Mr. Key's cage.
I love that he's actually a knight.
And then he was moved into the prison.
Of course! And then he was killed in the prison workroom!
Objection!
Weren't you listening? The scent on the body shows it must have moved through the tunnel. Knightley was moved from the detention center through the tunnel.
Please wait until someone is finished before you speaking. I do not claim he wasn't moved through the tunnel.
What?
You don't?
The scent shows that the body was moved through the tunnel. However, that does not mean it came from the detention center. That sure sounds like a contradiction to me. It isn't. Isn't there one more possibility? The well in the courtyard. It's possible the body was dropped down from there. The courtyard? Ah! The well in the courtyard! Mr. Keys carried the cage not to the workroom but to the courtyard. Mr. Knightley was killed in the courtyard and his body was dropped down the well. And then, the body at the bottom of the well was moved by Mr. Dogan's dog. Now, there's one thing I'd like you all to remember. Before the body was discovered, what was happening in the courtyard? The animal show, right? Regina and Simon were there. Wait, Simon? Ah! I see you understand. Who then dropped the body down the well?
Ditch Courtney. She's a tough opponent. Her flexible way of thinking enables her to adapt and come up with her own deductions.
Mr. Knightley was not carried to the workroom, but to the courtyard, and Mr. Keys was off stage for 15 minutes. This was when he dropped Mr. Knightley down the well. It's as simple as that.
Judge Courtney, your reasoning is sound, I'll admit that. However, let's say the body was dropped down the well. That didn't have to be done during the show. It could have happened at a different time.
Unfortunately for you, Prosecutor Edgeworth, that is not possible.
What?
When the show started, Mr. Albert was in the tunnel, on his way to the cell block. Mr. Albert, at that time, did you happen to see a body in the tunnel?
Nope, nothing like that.
So, if the body had been dropped before the show, Mr. Albert would have seen it. However, he has stated he did not see a body. So it is impossible to think the body was dropped before the show, and after the show, the body was discovered in the workroom. In other words, the body being dropped down the well and then moved to the workroom could only have been done during the show, and the only person who could have done it is Simon Keys. Ugh! Mr. Edgeworth! What could we do?
The body was moved through the well. That does put Mr. Keys at a major disadvantage. However, the notion that the body was moved through the well is only a hypothesis. That doesn't mean there is evidence.
I am obligated to recognize that fact.
Will you allow me to investigate the courtyard once more?
I give my approval, in the name of the Goddess of Law.
Reinvestigating the courtyard. I fear this may be our final chance. What? Huh? What?
Fire!
Could be another prison break, pal.
Wait, shall we evacuate?
Darling, everyone, please remain calm. This is just the signal for the evening meal. It's a little loud, so I can understand why you'd be surprised. It sure scared me. I'm terribly sorry. And with that, everyone, please return to your posts. Jailbird, it's also time for you to return to your room.
Oh, I got it. Let's go, Rocky.
One Roland, we will be proceeding to the courtyard for another investigation.
Isn't it time for you to go home as well, Mr. Edgeworth? It looks like we're out of time. Why don't you continue this another time?
But the investigation.
Today's been a big day, right? With the escaped prisoner and all. So I'm afraid I can't let outsiders like you loiter around any longer.
Ugh.
This is my decision as the warden of this prison.
I feel like I'm suddenly making her Courtney.
Looks like it can't be helped. The warden's word can be called the law of the prison. Prosecutor Edgeworth, this means we will have to carry out our investigation another day. Until then, you may hold on to your prosecutor's badge. And with that, I leave you.
Dead bodies of kittens.
Darling, now I think it's time you all left.
Well, it looks like we'll have to continue the investigation tomorrow. Knightley's body was dropped down the well and was carried to the workroom from Mr. Albert's cell. This is Judge Courtney's logic, but is it correct? And Judge Courtney claims that Mr. Keyes transported him, but was Mr. Keyes really the only one with a chance to move him?
Mr. Edgeworth, let's do our best tomorrow. We have to save Simon no matter what.
Indeed, I agree. I must prove Mr. Keyes' innocence without fail. Okay, I'll be taking a small break. The stream will not stop. I will only cut the recording. It will stop on this screen. Okay, then see you after the break.